Reaching our 60s and beyond marks the beginning of a profound transformation. It's not just about stepping into retirement or entering the golden years. It's a time when many of us reflect deeply on our lives, reevaluate priorities, and shed burdens that no longer serve us. After decades of working, raising families, and navigating the challenges life throws at us, there's a realization that certain habits, expectations, and mindsets that once seemed necessary might now be holding us back from living the fullest version of ourselves. This is an opportunity for personal renewal, for regaining time, energy, and emotional freedom. It's a period to truly embrace life on our terms, unshackled by the external pressures that may have dominated our younger years. What I'd like to share here are some realizations that have brought me immense peace and contentment since stepping into my 60s. These reflections have helped me let go of unnecessary burdens, and I hope they'll resonate with you too, offering some guidance on your own journey. Stop worrying about what others think of you. For much of our lives, we're conditioned to value the opinions and judgments of others. We seek validation from friends, family, colleagues, and even complete strangers, whether it's about our career choices, the way we raise our children, or our physical appearance. This societal pressure to conform and live up to others' expectations can be overwhelming. But one of the most liberating shifts I've experienced in my 60s is simply letting go of what others think. There was a time when I obsessed over these opinions, whether it was how I dressed, how my home looked, or even how others perceived my success in life. It all mattered. I even cared about trivial things like when someone commented on my teeth, or how I chose to spend my time in retirement. But at some point, I realized that none of this mattered. Why should I live my life based on someone else's views or ideas? Why should I shape my existence around external validation when the only validation that truly matters is my own? In this stage of life, we gain the wisdom to see that people's opinions are just that, opinions. They don't define us, and more often than not, those opinions reflect the speaker's own insecurities and biases rather than any truth about us. When I let go of needing to be liked or approved of, I felt an overwhelming sense of freedom. I became more comfortable in my own skin, embracing my flaws, my quirks, and all the things that make me, me. In essence, when you stop worrying about what others think, you reclaim your authenticity. You free yourself from the exhausting cycle of trying to please everyone, and you allow yourself to live a life that is true to who you are, not who others expect you to be. That's a gift you can give yourself as you age, the freedom to be unapologetically you. 2. Limit exposure to difficult people. Another important shift I made in my life after turning 60 was choosing to limit my exposure to difficult, toxic people. Earlier in life, whether in the workplace, social circles, or even within families, we often feel obligated to tolerate difficult individuals. We put up with people who are overly critical, controlling, or constantly negative because we feel we have no choice. Perhaps they're a coworker we rely on, a friend we've known for years, or even a family member. But now, in this stage of life, I realize that it's okay to create boundaries. In fact, it's essential for our well-being. After decades of dealing with difficult personalities, I've learned that you don't have to subject yourself to negative influences. You don't have to tolerate disrespect, constant drama, or emotional manipulation. At this point, we've earned the right to protect our peace of mind. One of the most profound lessons I've learned is that we become the average of the people we spend the most time with. If you're surrounded by kind, supportive, and positive people, you'll naturally feel more uplifted and content. Conversely, if you're always in the company of negative, critical, or toxic individuals, it will inevitably drag you down. Life is too short to be spent in the company of people who drain your energy or make you feel small. This isn't about cutting people out of your life in a dramatic fashion, but rather about being selective with your time and energy. If there are people who consistently bring negativity or cause you stress, it's okay to distance yourself from them. You don't owe anyone unlimited access to your time or emotional energy. By making this choice, you create space for more positive relationships and for your own emotional well-being to flourish. 3. Let go of unrealistic expectations of others. For much of my life, I held on to the belief that people should meet certain expectations, often expecting them to behave in ways that aligned with my own values and standards. Whether it was at work, in friendships, or even within my family, I had high expectations of others, and when they inevitably fell short, it led to disappointment, frustration, and sometimes even conflict. In my 60s, I learned to let go of those unrealistic expectations. People are who they are, shaped by their own life experiences, values, and limitations. We can't control how others behave, and expecting them to live up to our personal standards only sets us up for disappointment. This realization has brought me a great deal of peace. When I stopped expecting people to change or meet my expectations, I found that I was far less frustrated and much more accepting of others as they are. It doesn't mean that I tolerate bad behavior or allow people to mistreat me, but I've learned to manage my own expectations and to accept that not everyone operates from the same values or perspectives as I do. Letting go of unrealistic expectations also allows us to focus more on our own happiness, and less on trying to control others. It frees us from the emotional burden of constantly feeling let down, and instead, we can appreciate people for who they are, flaws and all. This acceptance creates space for deeper, more meaningful relationships as we're no longer holding on to impossible standards or waiting for others to change. In our younger years, we're often driven by ambition and a desire to achieve. We set complex, long-term goals for ourselves, mapping out detailed plans for our careers, personal growth, and future success. I was no different. I thrived on goal setting, using spreadsheets, vision boards, and meticulous planning systems to track my progress. But now, after turning 60, I found that this approach no longer serves me. At this stage of life, I've come to appreciate the beauty of simplicity. Instead of setting lofty, complex goals, I now focus on more immediate, achievable objectives. My goals are no longer centered around career milestones or long-term success, but rather around things that bring me joy and fulfillment in the present moment. I've learned that it's okay to scale back and simplify. It doesn't mean giving up on personal growth or abandoning ambition, but it does mean shifting the focus to what truly matters now. Instead of a 5-year plan, I think about what I want to accomplish in the next few months or even the next year. These goals are often more practical and aligned with the slower, more reflective pace of life I now enjoy. For example, instead of striving to achieve financial or career goals, my focus might now be on nurturing my relationships, exploring new hobbies, or simply maintaining my health. This shift in focus has allowed me to let go of the constant pressure to achieve, and instead embrace a more balanced and content way of living. Simplifying our goals can bring a sense of peace and fulfillment that is much harder to find when we're constantly chasing the next big thing. 5. Stop trying to stay busy all the time. In the hustle and bustle of our working years, many of us develop a mindset that values constant productivity. We're conditioned to believe that our worth is tied to how much we accomplish in a day, whether it's at work, in the home, or in our social lives. But as I've entered my 60s, I've come to realize that this constant need to stay busy is not only exhausting, but unnecessary. Retirement offers the gift of time. It's an opportunity to slow down and savor life without the relentless pressure to be productive. Yet many of us struggle to let go of the mindset that we must always be doing something. I too used to feel guilty if I wasn't filling every moment with a task or activity, but now I've embraced the idea that it's okay, even beneficial, to do nothing sometimes. There's a joy in simply being. Whether it's sitting quietly with a cup of coffee, taking a leisurely walk, or just letting your mind wander, these moments of stillness are precious. They allow us to recharge, reflect, and reconnect with ourselves in ways that constant busyness doesn't allow. That said, I do believe it's important to maintain some level of routine and structure, especially when it comes to staying physically and mentally active. But this doesn't mean we need to fill every minute of the day. It's about finding balance, knowing when to push ourselves to stay engaged and active, and when to give ourselves permission to rest and take it easy. The key is to listen to your own needs. Some days you may feel energetic and ready to tackle projects or hobbies. Other days you might prefer to relax and take things slow. Both are valid, and both are important for maintaining overall well-being in retirement. 6. Let go of past mistakes. By the time we reach our 60s, most of us carry with us the weight of past mistakes, whether they are personal, professional, or relational. These regrets can linger and affect our sense of self-worth. I spent many years reflecting on missed opportunities and wondering how different my life might have been if I had made other choices. But one of the most important lessons I've learned is that holding on to past mistakes serves no useful purpose. The past cannot be changed. What matters now is how we choose to move forward. When I stopped ruminating over things I couldn't change, I found a sense of peace that had eluded me for years. Letting go of regret allows us to live fully in the present, without the shadow of the past constantly hanging over us. Forgiving ourselves for our mistakes is an essential part of this process. We all make choices we later regret, but those choices don't define us. What defines us is how we grow and learn from those experiences. By letting go of regret, we free ourselves to focus on the positive aspects of our lives and the opportunities that still lie ahead. 7. Stop trying to please everyone. Many of us spend our lives trying to please others, often at the expense of our own happiness. Whether it's in our relationships, our careers, or our social interactions, we strive to meet the expectations of others, sometimes sacrificing our own needs and desires in the process. But as we age, we come to realize that it's impossible to make everyone happy, and more importantly, it's not our responsibility to do so. In my 60s, I embraced the idea that it's okay to prioritize my own happiness. This doesn't mean being selfish or disregarding the feelings of others, but it does mean living in alignment with my own values and desires. We've spent years meeting the demands of work, family, and society, and now it's time to focus on what truly brings us joy and fulfillment. By letting go of the need to please others, we reclaim our sense of agency. We can make decisions based on what feels right for us, rather than what others expect of us. This shift in perspective allows us to live more authentically and enjoy the freedom that comes with it. 8. Prioritize your health and well-being, but with balance. As we age, our health naturally becomes a more prominent concern, and it's something we should prioritize, but with balance and moderation. For much of our lives, many of us are focused on staying physically fit, eating right, and maintaining an overall healthy lifestyle. And while that's still important in our later years, it's also essential to recognize the importance of mental and emotional well-being. In our 60s, 70s, and beyond, it's crucial to adopt a more holistic view of health. That means taking care of your body, yes, but also paying attention to your mental and emotional health. It's easy to get caught up in medical appointments and fitness routines, but equally important are things like staying socially connected, engaging in hobbies that bring joy, and keeping your mind active. At this stage, health shouldn't just be about rigid diets or intense exercise routines, it's about finding balance. Maybe you don't need to hit the gym 5 days a week anymore, but a daily walk in the fresh air, cooking nutritious meals, and practicing mindfulness can be just as valuable. The goal is to feel good in your own body, both physically and mentally. Don't get bogged down by perfectionism or feel the need to live up to unrealistic standards. Prioritize what feels right for you, and always remember that health is about the whole picture. Conclusion. As we age, the opportunity for personal transformation becomes clearer and more urgent. By shedding the baggage of past regrets, societal pressures, and unrealistic expectations, we open ourselves up to a richer, more peaceful life. In our 60s and beyond, we have the chance to live authentically, embrace simplicity, and focus on what truly matters: health, happiness, and relationships. This phase of life is not about slowing down or retreating from the world, but about rediscovering ourselves and finding joy in the simple things. Embrace these years with openness and curiosity, and allow yourself to be the best version of yourself, free from the constraints of the past. If you found this video inspiring, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. Your feedback means a lot to us. Thank you for your valuable time,